college football playoffs are almost here, and I got to tell you, what an exciting matchup we have in the All-State Sugar Bowl, the second of two college football playoff semifinals. First, you have Alabama and Michigan, and then the Washington Huskies out of the Pac-12 conference square off with the Texas Longhorns out of the Big 12. Both these teams, conference champions. Texas with a 12-1 record this past season. The Washington Huskies with a perfect 13-0 record. They were able to get things done in the Pac-12 title game by beating Oregon for the second time. Texas had a dominating win over the Oklahoma State Cowboys. And the story of this game will be the offenses. Two of the most high-powered offenses in all of college football, with the high-powered attack of Texas led by Quinn Ewers, and the opposite side, Michael Penix Jr., the Heisman finalist, leading the way for the Washington Huskies. We'll tell you more about this matchup in just a moment, but first, if you want more college football videos, this is the channel for you. Let's get 20 subs off today's show, and the bosses say we can bring you more college football content here on College Football Now. So if you want it, prove it right now. Subscribe now for free and join us each and every day here on College Football Now by Chat Sports. The all-time record between these two programs, Texas leads the series 3-2, and they met recently, a year ago, in the Alamo Bowl. We remember the Alamo Bowl, where Washington got a 27-20 win over the Longhorns, and there's a lot of momentum for this Washington team going into this game, not only with the number 2 ranking and a Pac-12 title, but they have now won 20 games in a row. That's the nation's longest active winning streak, dating back to last season after Georgia's loss to Alabama in the SEC title game. Washington now owns that long streak. Some of the notable wins for the Huskies this season included a 7-point win at Arizona, a win against Oregon in what was just a fantastic finish back in October. They also squeaked by a road win against Oregon State, and then defeated Oregon again in the Pac-12 title game, a game that they were a 9-point underdog in. Meanwhile, the Texas Longhorns started off the year with a bang, going into Tuscaloosa and defeating the Alabama Crimson Tide 34-24 as the coming out party, which had many people asking if Texas was back or not. Meanwhile, they defeated Kansas State without Quinn Ewers. He was out that game, and Malik Murphy got the start in overtime against the Wildcats, and then also with a decisive win against Oklahoma State in the Big 12 title game. So let's ask you now, who wins? You going hook 'em, or are you going with the Huskies? If you like Texas, type T for Texas. If you like Washington, type W for Washington. Let us know in the comments section below who you have winning this game. Today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks, the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. You choose 2 or more players on any given category. You get the choice of more or less. And here's what I'm rolling with this week. Mahomes, Allen, and Bass. I'm going with more on all 3 of them. And let's say I put $20 down. If all 3 hit, I'm walking away with $100. You can play along with me and win money on Prize Picks as well. At prizepicks.com/SailItS, promo code SailItS, get a $100 deposit match on your first entry. NFL, college football, NBA, and more. That's prizepicks.com/SailItS to play along. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Let's talk QBs now. Michael Penix Jr. leading the way for the Washington Huskies, and he's had a fantastic season, a Heisman finalist with 33 touchdowns and 9 picks. Quinn Ewers, the big thing that we saw from him, comparably speaking to his freshman season a year ago, the completion percentage went up considerably, up to 70% this year with over 3,100 yards passing. Ewers took a huge step in the right direction. Penix expected to be a first-round pick this year. Ewers could be a first-round pick in the following draft. And one thing about both these guys is they've won some big games. They've played some of their best football on college football's biggest stages. And I would expect that again with this game coming up on New Year's Day, that both of them played at an extremely high level. Penix, his record as a starter at Washington, 24-2. He has won a lot of football games. He and head coach Kalen DeBoer have been a fantastic combination, have worked so well together. Look out for him to have a very strong showing in this one against Texas. Who is the better quarterback? Is it Michael Penix Jr. or is it Quinn Ewers? Well, in the comment section, tell me what you think. MP for Michael Penix Jr., QE for Quinn Ewers. Let us know which quarterback you'd rather roll with in the college football playoff. Let's talk about the running backs for each of these teams, beginning with the Washington Huskies. Dylan Johnson, their leading rusher with over 1,100 yards this season, 14 touchdowns. Will Nixon, you don't see a ton of, but he is their number 2 back. And I got to tell you, when you look at Washington, the thing that stands out to me is just how well the balance is. That you can see Michael Penix go out there and, just go off, right, in the passing game. But Dylan Johnson, really, I look in particular at that Pac-12 title game where he just shattered the Oregon Ducks defense, ran right through them. Probably should have been the Pac-12 title game MVP, if we're going to be honest with you. With the way he performed at such a high level, I was impressed. And on a big stage, kind of like we talked about with Penix, Johnson had maybe his best game of the year in that Pac-12 title game last week. Meanwhile, the Texas Longhorns, without Brooks, their starting running back, he's out for the season. But we've seen this team still hold their own. C.J. Baxter's been solid. He's got nearly 600 yards rushing. Jaden Blue with 339 yards on the ground. This team, even without Jonathan Brooks in the equation here, they still have held their own in the rushing game and done a very good job on that front. I don't expect the running game to suffer without having Jonathan Brooks there because we've seen them do a good job of it so far without him. Now, let's ask you the million-dollar question. I told you at the beginning of the year here on College Football Now in our bold prediction segment that this would be the year that Texas would be back officially. They'd win the Big 12, get to the college football playoff, and all of that happened. So, is Texas actually back? Is this legit? Weigh in. Y for yes, in for no. Is Texas back? Be bold. Let me know what you think. The offenses here are so high-powered. There should be a lot of points, and these receiving cores are so solid here. You're talking about NFL talent on both sides with 2 1,000-yard receivers for Washington. Texas with a couple big ones as well. Xavier Worthy, we heard from Steve Sarkisian say that he's expected to be healthy despite getting injured in that Big 12 title game. He should be able to give it a go. Mitchell has been awesome this year with 10 touchdowns. Quinn Ewers has been very comfortable getting the ball to both of these guys. The game plan, I think, that you're going to see both teams try to put forth. For Washington, it's attack Texas's defense with explosive plays. That they're going to bring that big play energy to the football field and really try to go after Texas's secondary. For the Longhorns, as we've seen Sark embrace, all gas, no brakes. I think that what you're going to see Sark try to do is really wear out this Washington team for 4 quarters of football, to really try to insert their will and be the physical football team and hope that makes the difference. Some really good defensive talent for both teams in this game as well. Trice has been awesome for Washington. He's got 5 sacks on the season. Muhammad's got 3 interceptions on the season as well. He's been good. On the other side for Texas, Sweat is just a beast. I mean, this guy is a woolly mammoth of a figure. He's got 2 sacks, but that number's a bit deceiving because he's constantly taking on double teams. Jalen Ford's been great with 91 tackles as well. Watch out, both these teams with defensive talent. The numbers say that Texas's defense, though, is considerably better than Washington's defense between the two. But don't be mistaken, Washington still has playmakers on that front as well. I'm going to give you my prediction here in just a bit, but what I hear from you guys, who wins? What's the final score going to be for Washington versus Texas? Let us know in that comment section who wins and what the final is. I think we're in for a great game when it all comes down to it. 2 high-powered offenses, but like I mentioned earlier, that Texas defense is better than Washington's defense. I think that's good enough for another possession to give Texas the win. I like the Longhorns 34-30 to advance to the national title game. Thanks for joining us here on College Football Now. For more college football coverage, subscribe now for free, and we'll see you next time right here on College Football Now.